Also, sometimes last week I did a video and people reached out to me that they wanted to learn some more about measuring a space with what you have available. If you don't have a tape and you want to take the size of a place, you want to have a mental picture of the size to know the kind of maybe interior decor you want to do. You don't want to buy a chair that now moves into a place and it's too small. You have to have an idea of the size. When you're talking to your interior decorator, you should be able to have a size, and from that you should be able to have a mental picture of the size of the building or size of a space. You can easily achieve that with your tiles. Yes, your tiles, you got me right. So basically we have some types of tiles. You have 40 by 40, 40 by 40, right? These are centimeters. These are in centimeters. So if you want to do this now, if you want to convert this to meters, it has to become 0.4 meters, because centi is 100. So you divide by 100 to get 0.4 meters, right? So we established that this is a 40 by 40 tiles. That is still the same as a 40 by 40 tiles is still the same as 0.4 by 0.4. Right, so we have 40 by 40, but the most used tiles are the bigger ones. Though you have bigger tiles now that are almost 1 meter long. They come in this size. Some of them come in 1 meter. That is 100 by 60, 100 cm by 60 cm. So that is 100, which is equals to 1 meter by 0.6 meters. If you want to know the square meters of these tiles now, you just do 1 times 0.6. It will give you 0.6 SQM, or meter square. Square meters and meter square are the same thing, right? So sometimes you have tiles that are bigger than this. Of course, you have 1 by 1 tiles. These are super luxury tiles, because they are more expensive, and in luxury houses now you see them, they are quite big. You see them quite big on the floor. It's about 1 meter by 1 meter. So if you want to have an idea of a space, how big a space is, for example, let's use the most available tiles, which is about 60 by 60 is the mostly used for floors. So if you walk into, maybe you want to rent an office space, you want to rent a shop, and you don't have an idea of how big that shop is. This is quite small. Let me draw something bigger so that you have a better idea. Let's say this is the size of the shop, right? And these are the partitions for tiles. Yes, these are the partitions for your tiles. I'm doing it. Forgive me if my hand is not so straight, right? Or if my drawings are not so accurate. But let's just assume now that these are all 60 by 60 tiles. Let's assume that they are all equal, 60 by 60 tiles. Don't forget, each of them is 60. This is 60 by 60, 60 by 60, 60 by 60. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do 5 by what? 0.6 meters. Don't forget, we've converted this to meters. So that's about 3 meters. This is a 3 meter long space. Then you go once, you've confirmed that this is 8 already. You do 8 times 0.6. This should give you about 4.8 meters. If my math is still good, it should be about 4.8 meters. So if you have 4.8 meters here, and you want to get exactly what size this full space is, all you need to do is now bring this answer and this answer together. You just oppose them together to get your answer. So you get 4.8 times 3 meters. So when you multiply this, my mass is still a little bit functional. That should be about 14.4 square meters. I think so, if my mass is still good. But if it's not good, punch your calculators. 4.8 times 3 should give you about 14.4 square meters. So that's the size of this space. So that makes that this space is a 14.4 square meters. So if you want to buy a furniture, for example, if this is supposed to be your room, you should know that, okay, your 5x6 bed, where do I want to put my 5x6 bed? How long is 5x6? But don't forget, you have to be sure of your units. If you mean by 6 by 4 now, it's not in meters, because the average human height is 6. So that's why the bed is usually 6 feet. 6 feet. So if you are doing 6 by 4, that means it can take maybe 2 people just managing. right? So you have 6 by 4 feet, right? 6 feet now is about, if to get the meter, you do divide by 3.3. That's approximately 1.8 meter, thereabout. I'm not with my calculator just to save time. 6 divided by 3.3 is about 1.8 meters, right? So if we establish that, we've established that this is 3 meters. So 1.8 should be something around here. So if you take this 1.8 from the 3.3, you know that you are left with about 1.5 meters on both sides of your bed, on 1.5 meters. So you can do 0.75 meters here, 0.75 meters. So if you're going to buy any furniture, let's say you want to put a furniture here, you want to put a flower vase, you can put the bed in the middle and you have this space 0.75 and 0.75 here. And if you feel that, okay, I don't want to cluster I don't want my bed in the middle, I want to move my bed to the side, you can just quickly move your bed to this side of the place, and you know that you have 1.5 meters to play around. You can do an office chair, you can do a reading chair, you can do anything here. And if it's an office space too, you know how to make good use of it. And if it's a studio, of course, you can just say, I want to put a small dining table here, I want to do my TV console around this space. So I'm sure you've learned a couple of things from this our little class, and I hope you were not confused, but you're convinced that you can measure a space with your tiles. You can do a lot about that. You can take accurate decisions. You can talk about interior with just this measurement. So get familiar with these units. Thank you so much, and follow me for more tips on real estate. God bless you.